Welcome back to the NLC for the last game of the day. It's going to be Singularity versus MNM. It doesn't count for anything for the playoffs, but I hope we get a good one.
Yeah, MNM, unfortunately, with the way things turned out today, are out of playoffs contention. It was always a long shot. It's now an impossible one. But it does mean we've got two teams with nothing to lose who have all been very willing to pick unusual things for the entertainment of viewers.
Exactly. SNG, they've been showing that they are very willing to.
Thank you for the Evelyn. Thank you. I appreciate that, guys.
And hell, even if you want to do a little bit of serious analysis, MNM, when they were playing at their peak during like week 3, 4, they put on a good show for us. They did play a lot of very solid League of Legends, very entertaining, very fast-paced League of Legends. So if we get some of that, maybe not at the same ceiling, let's just say, because they've not really been doing that for a while, then perhaps this game actually has something to show for us in terms of entertainment value.
If you could have a champion, like your favorite champion that you could see someone play.
Oh, Kane.
Oh, yeah,
Kane would be your champion?
Kane is the champion I've probably played the most for the last 5 years.
Is that or GP? Sure.
No, I think Kane still takes
a spot. Wow, you get all right. Well, right now the question is, are they going to get spell anything? Is the question, because they've both gone for Z bans. No, it's boring so far. ZV, yeah, no, nothing. Okay. You know what? I was hoping. I was excited.
Not typing anything.
I was hoping.
We wait for the Yordles, okay? At least that. The Yordles are getting removed. Zeri as well. This is the stable one. Will Gwen be removed? Like the stable, the stable bans from one side.
Michigo's also, in fact, a very good Zig, so I can absolutely see why that's removed from the table, because he does have a few of those unusual pocket picks available to him.
Yeah, it's a relatively standard pick and ban. And at the end of the day, if these teams want to take this seriously, they totally can, right? In terms of
makes sense.
It's a stage game still.
Absolutely.
And the experience is still going to be very, very valued for the play. So Leona's going to come in. Do we just get the boring Jinx? Do we get something a little more exciting? I mean...
Oh, go on. First pick Fiora would certainly count as spicy.
This is one of the few pick bans where I'd say, we can actually talk about hovers. Because
it's true.
Normally hovers, rule of thumb, don't talk about hovers. Zinzal comes in. Maybe Fiora got flashed, of course, because Bobista did get kind of dismantled.
He did a little bit yesterday. Almost like yesterday, Monday. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, there is something to be said for pride being on the line, actually, as well. For all that we're saying, it could be a spicy one. And both these teams have done that before. There is something about pride. And for Singularity, they've only got one win this bit. They'd love another. For MNM, it's like, I do not want to lose to the bottom place team. I want to prove that we've actually, in another world, we could have been a playoffs team if things had been a little different. Locking in an Udyr here is something that's a bit interesting. And a bit of something that's kind of been slowly climbing back up the priority list. It was in the LPL again this morning.
Yeah, it's randomly kind of been showing its head, and I'm not actually too sure on what the things like build paths are, the priorities. Obviously, because we saw a lot of the bruise itemization change, what that kind of means is champions that are very tanky on their first item now, they're a little more valued in the jungle, and Udyr has a lot of base tankiness in his kit anyway. You go Chemtech, you have, Tabbies or Merc Treads, you have so much tank value, and that's probably what it is coming in for. And not only that, his clear speed is still kind of bonkers.
It is really good. It was buffed, the Phoenix stance was buffed, so it's really powerful. 330 at 5th level, so it's really powerful nowadays. Yeah, I spam Udyr top, so I'm a disgusting player. Plus, it makes sense. Ooh!
It's still being
don't talk about overs. I know Goldberg is in a desk judging me right now, but it would be lovely to have that. Oh my, that is a judgy face. Thresh alongside with the failures. I'm just going to look at you guys because I feel in danger. Thresh as a support with the failures. It's the escape button.
This is a bot lane that pretty much the moment Aphelios came out was locked in, because it meant Aphelios could step forward with things like Severum and Crescendum, really aggro the wave with something like with the Infernum or whatever, just shred through it. You've got lane priority, you've got shove, you can heal up. And Thresh is just there to say, well, if you get in trouble, I just lantern you out, there's no problem.
Yeah.
So that's the option, but the response is something a bit spicier.
Yeah, and Shan. And it's been banned for so long against
Royal Cannon. He played 2 games, 100% win rate. It demolished everybody in the mid lane. It makes sense to just get rid of it. Yeah,
and I think since that 100% win rate of those 2 games, I think that's it. It's just been
it's been gone.
I would actually feel kind of confident saying it's been 100% banned against.
I have not seen it since then. Yeah, it's just not.
Yeah, at the very least, not seen it picked up by him again. So very excited to see him on it here. And bans, I think, just if you're taking the draft a little bit seriously, you want to remove away some of the engage options. Ornn makes sense. Jinx on the opposite side. There's no bottom lane AD carry locked in. Though, of course, Akshan, by rights, he technically can still play down there.
It's just not. You like the solo lane XP. Actually, you're quite good at solo lane because you want to use your going rogue to play around with the permanent invis. You want to try and look for the burst combos. And actually, honestly, considering you're not really much of a tower taker or the rest of it, you kind of want to think some other stuff. We had seen some Xerath a little while ago for a couple weeks in the NLC, but it hadn't really worked out. Locked in here, likely for Royal Cannon, which means it's possibly Babista taking.
I don't know. This seems like a support Xerath.
Could be,
might
pick
Michigan,
Jhin actually,
alongside with him, and it's a sniper bot lane.
Was the Nautilus is locked in already, so it could be Nautilus Xerath.
Even better.
Michigu's done AP Mage's bot before, so it's a possibility.
I wanted to call out actually the fact that SNG said, all right, let's remove away the Seraphine just on the off chance it comes out.
Trouble's not here, and if they lock in a Katarina,
without Trouble.
Or it could be a support LeBlanc
maybe, do you know
for
what?
Jake as well.
I actually think,
There's
unironically...
your Pantheon. It's all big hover. They know what they're doing. Yeppe is toying with the caster's hearts.
I think, unironically, hovering the Karina, I think they would have locked it in if Trouble was here today.
It's true.
But, you know, a little bit of respect for Fuji, just to make sure that she doesn't get to miss out on a potential Karina game.
True. Maybe next week. We'll wait and see. Yeah. What I will say is that the one win Singularity did get was on the back of Tatui on the Camille alongside Dragane on the Veigar, basically playing lockdown central with a double cage comp. He had a pretty good showing in terms of being able to find the flanks, so I want to see whether he can do it again today. A Jace for Babista says, I see your Camille and I'm going to make you pay for having picked it.
Yeah, I think that's entirely correct. And even on the top side, I don't think necessarily that Xin Zhao is going to lose to Udyr, but Udyr kind of like stonewalls a lot of these kind of matchups. So assuming that we see, you know, kind of path towards the top side and ensure that Babista, you know, he's never having waves crash into him and things like that. He's never going to be at threat of dives. Babista should have a relatively free time, and on the bottom lane, it actually does look like it's going to be the Xerath.
It is Michigu on a Xerath bot. It's a double poke, plus Akshan and Udyr being frustrating. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Akshan's the wild card. You've got two beef balls in the front line to keep your poke safe.
And we were talking about this in the game today. This is the AD carry that actually does better with AP champion, so why not pick the Xerath? It makes sense, it's a different kind of Ziggs. So without further ado, we'll toss it to the casters desk for the last game of the day, Singularity versus MNM.
Pride is on the line in this game. Some spice has been sprinkled on top.
I'm actually quite surprised we didn't get more than that. I don't think the Xerath bot lane is true troll either. So if we need to break it down, okay? Finally get Michigo on his AD in the mid lane that he's been banned against like throughout the entirety of the split. He's 100% win rate on the auction.
Yes.
6 was already banned out. Seraphine got banned out as well. Reason for this is that you need an AP, but you also want a neutralizing mage into Aphelios because it counters him really.
Michael? Michael, are you okay?
Production? Can we have a conversation after this?
I complimented you, production, earlier. And this is how you repay us? Okay.
So basically with a mage, what you want to do into Aphelios is you want to neutralize the bot lane, because if he cannot push in the minion waves and he's playing with slow range, you can completely neutralize the pick. Which is why 6 was banned, which is why Seraphine was banned, which is why Xerath was picked instead. I had to get this out quick. There you go. Take it away.
Okay, well, we are into game now. Something else that's a little bit spicy that we haven't, well, Des talked about it when I was locked in, the Udyr jungle.
Yeah, so, I mean, I've actually not gotten to research this pick as much as I would have liked, mainly just because it's been picked more in NA and my time zone doesn't really allow myself staying that late up watching it. But it's certainly something that came back a lot with the movement speed, the chem tank as well, and as Jamada mentioned a little bit on the desk, it's just something that neutralized a lot of picks. Actually, I'm not going to give my sense on it, because I'll be honest with you, I don't know lethal tempo Udyr.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting pickup. We'll have to see how it goes for Canna, of course, a player who's had mixed fortunes so far this season. As we see both teams starting on that bot side, probably pathing towards top. Should we be looking out for really aggressive plays anywhere in particular?
I think you can look out for the solo linears of the side of MNM. That's surely what you want to play towards. From the side down towards the bot side, It's all about clearing waves. You're just playing ping pong with those waves. You just need to farm minions. That's all this Seraph is here for. Just make sure the Aphelios doesn't get to be a threat. So you're playing for your solo laners instead. You're playing for the AD threat in the mid lane. You're playing for the ranged intermelee matchup on the top side with a Jace that should be able to dictate waves as well. On the side of Singularity, oh, I like this from Porb. He's just not going to be ready for this. Jace usually gets to push in the early game. He's only level 1. Might just be dead here.
Babista could get caught out. Porb moving forward. Gonna get that knockup flash burnt. Babista goes low. Needs to be a little bit careful now.
Not dead, but the thing is that Kana is pathing up towards the top side as well, so he's not in a position to walk into the bot side jungle and take away some of these camps. So you cheat the lane a little bit, but Babista now have to play with no flash. Yes, he will get the help from his jungler, but if Tatui is able to play around that, then the lane can benefit the Camille all of a sudden. On the side of Porb, he's now going to be able to full clear his top side. He can move down towards the bot side, see if there's anything to Fred. If there's not, well, you just go for the reset and see if you can come in with a counter gank once again on Babista.
I'm just keeping my eyes on these two junglers, especially Kana, what he's going to do in response. Because obviously he'll know that Babista is going to need a little bit of assistance now, and with Xin clearing out the Gromp, he could actually be in position to make a return, but probably wants to clear out a little bit more effectively. But in the mid lane as well, Raw Cannon, we've talked about this Akshan, a very, very important pickup for him. He's played exceptionally well. It's been banned a lot.
It has, and I mean, for good reason as well, that we're not seeing right now, because Jurgen is actually doing a brilliant job.
Yeah, just going for a little bit of an engage as Spike moves forwards, but Dr. Chaos very capable of disengaging. Ooh.
No, Porb still haven't reset yet. Kana does have the level advantage.
Yeah, but he's going to be caught out because Tattoo has the priority in the top side. He's going to have to run away, and Porb doing some decent damage. Probably not going to be able to do too much, but Kana's running the wrong way, looking to escape, hanging over the wall, thinking about the flash. Ooh, he's gets caught out and now needs to be super careful. Of course, doesn't have it, but Porb goes low, has to smite for health, but it's first blood going over to Tattoo.
Good idea initially from Kana there, because if he comes in and face check, he actually has the advantage of the fuck off wall to just be able to stun immediately and then start piling down the damage. But unfortunately for him, Tattoo was following along. He gets the pickup. And now, once again, this Camille is put in a good position in a matchup that usually doesn't favor her in the early game.
No, absolutely not. Having that extra kill is going to be grand into Babista. Again, still doesn't have flash. So this top side is looking very, very nice for Singularity. And as they said on Desk, Tattoo on the Camille was a pivotal reason why they won their only win this season. As in the bot side, we could see a little bit of action, but Dr. Chaos can't find the engage.
Exactly, but it's also just great because you get this Camille ahead, she gets to be a menace in the side lane, but not only that, she gets in towards the back line that's very immobile already on the side of MNM. They're super squishy. Like, they'll get blown up immediately. Okay.
Ooh, nice engage. Will not land the flay onto Dr. Chaos, though, as he flashes back, and a little bit returned onto Aphelios, but nothing too much as Kana moves in.
And I'm not sure what Dr. Chaos was doing there, if he was timing summoner spells in the middle of a lane or anything like that, but he was just standing still in a position where he was not safe with the minions covering.
It's going to be a reset in the bot side from MNM.
Right, yeah, but
ooh, will he find him? He won't. It was close. You can feel like he was hunting, he was sniffing.
If he just walked up there, just did a little bit of a blind play, that could have been great.
Unfortunately, didn't throw it down, but Babista in the top side against a double buffed up Camille.
It's tough, and I mean, Tattoo haven't even reset yet.
Oh.
So all the damage you give here, I mean, it's fine. You're just going to be able to shove in the wave. You can go for the recall. Don't even have to utilize this TP if that's what you want to save. On the other opposite side of the map, with the resets coming through from the bot side, Dr. Chaos is out to help Royal Cannon. Not necessarily for a gank, but just to make sure that he can push this wave in. Royal Cannon can get a reset himself. Oh. At the same time, Porb, he's being very bold with this Drake 5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, no one's quite catching him out. Dr. Chaos might well move down, but I think the dragon will be secured before it's time.
No smite
though. Dr. Chaos walks in. He's like,
got no smite.
Here? Dr. Chaos doesn't steal it away, but both of these Singularity members are very low. Flash out with the Lantern means that only Yepe loses a summoner, but ooh, that was close.
That was a dire situation. They managed to make it worth, and only at the expense of one flash. I mean, trading flash for the first Drake, actually kind of fine. Tattoo needs to be careful on the top side here because he's got a slow pushing wave pushing into him.
Kana just roars at Tattoo. Brilliant. And we'll send him away.
Yeah, you never have to go aggressive here because it's a slow pushed wave coming into you. You can just wait around, try and freeze it outside of your turret if you like. Unfortunately, that's not going to be a possibility with Udi around unless they just let him do it unchecked. Yeah, okay, fine. Didn't want to play top lane anyway.
It's kind of moving in to take away the Gromp. Porb is around, but is a level down on the Xin Zhao. It should be noted, so he needs to be a little bit careful. And will find Canna, but members of MNM are coming in to support Dr. Chaos and Royal Cannon because yep, it is going to be a full-blown skirmish in the jungle. If Pop does anything too silly, Dragane is there as well. It's going to be a full-blown fight. Canna looking for a way out, can't find it just yet. Action swings into motion, but the first kill goes over to the victor. Royal Cannon trying to get away, but members coming through thick and fast from Singularity. Zinzal's going to follow through. Pop gets the kill as Dr. Chaos now being forced away from safety. Going to be taken low, flayed back and removed. It's a double kill over to Porp, and this is an early game we really haven't seen from him.
No, it's brilliant. We're actually seeing a lot of proactivity. We're seeing a lot of priority when you say rotate around the map here with bot lane priority, allowing Yeppe to move as well, answering it. Psyche and Michigu, I don't think a kill will come through here, no. But once again, this is nice from Singularity. Really, both these teams, they have no stakes in this game. It doesn't give them anything. It's only about pride, but Yeppe and Porp just lining up together nicely, chaining up the CC into the knock-up, and Kana, I mean, she's getting one-shot by that Chaos Storm when it comes through. Royal Cannon, Chaos, they're way too far forward, and Tatui, he was pushed in topside. The thing is, with topside on blue side, it's super easy for you to join the jungle fights.
Absolutely, and there you can see Dr. Chaos just gets flayed back, and Singularity. Goodness me, where was this kind of play when you could have made playoffs?
I mean, okay, that's a lot of weeks ago as well, different substitutions, but I agree with the sentiment. They're looking like a whole nother team, like they're actually looking good. And I won't subtract that statement.
I was going to say that was a little bit harsher than maybe you meant, but Dragane, as you've mentioned, in the game that we saw Singularity win was pivotal, obviously, on that Vigar Blair, so we don't love that.
Action, potentially, could happen up here. Royal Cannon is in camouflage. Tatui has a lane that's pushing in, and he doesn't have a backup.
Pretty aggressive positioning from him as well. It's going to be a 2v1 going for that cable shot. Might be able to get away, but Royal Cannon putting in a decent amount of damage, has the ultimate available, and is going to look to fire it. Can Tatui get behind the tower? Yes, he can, and he does survive.
Poor missed blast code.
Don't worry about it. He's having a good game so far. Don't worry about it.
Okay, yeah, you're right on that expense. But you could have found Michigan moving down now, or rather, Royal Cannon moving down now. In the river, Rift Hell is, of course, an objective you can try and fight for, and because of that, supports have been moved up here. Though remember, Tatui is quite low, does not have that teleport, and because of that factor, Singularity will have to give up this Rift Herald.
Yeah, it's going to be taken by MNM, a nice first objective for them to secure. It's a little bit later than the spawn at 8 minutes, but they will be able to use this one. Not going to be giving it to the marksman, well, the Xerath, I should say, as it's going to go over to Canna. Anywhere you would like to see this one delivered?
In any lane with priority, so it's easier to play up towards the top side if you can gain control once again with the Jace of the lanes. It's going to be a bit more difficult in a mid lane setting where Dragana can just completely clear out the waves all the time. He's building up more items down towards the bot side as well. You don't have too much priority, but one move you could make is, of course, just move Royal Cannon to a side lane again. Stack one wave if you have to, come in with a camouflage, and make bot lane a 4 versus 2 situation. Hook from Yeppe.
Goes a little bit short, and he will not get the engagement that he maybe wanted. Pop on the top side. Could look to get something onto a Beast. He's pretty far extended. Camille coming through as well. He's going to come in from nothing. But Bista is in a lot of trouble here. No mana as well. I think this one should be cut and dry for Singularity moving into the alcove. But Bista looking to break sight, but just goes straight into the ultimate. And the ultimate going to hold him in place. And Bista actually might have been able to get out of that one, but Camille just completely shuts him down.
Yeah, Paul wanted to leave over the kill, forces Tatui to go for the flash to pick it up. But this is still great. And this is a matchup that's been completely flipped by its head. As we already talked about, it's not supposed to go like this in the early game. And once Jay starts falling back, he's not having a good time because Jace, who's behind the curve, actually not a very good side laner. It's just really like a normal range top laner. He just has to disengage in his E, but Camille able to play around with that, with the ultimate, of course.
I mean, maybe not what we expected to come into this game, as Canna moving on down. Remember, still has that Rift Herald, so that 2k gold lead could be closed a little bit if Ude could secure some plates for some priority members as well. Michigu hasn't really been super involved, but Pop now moving forward, keeping Canna at bay, and they might low to get this split fight. Dr. Chaos caught up, goes low, taken out as Canna moves forward with the stun. You can see the Arcane Barrage is flying through, but members are low from Singularity. Spike needs to be super careful. Canna, one more auto attack will be enough, but could fall to Pop here as well. Masterful performance from the Xin Zhao so far as they pick up another fight.
Yeah, another skirmish going in the favor of Singularity. With this, can trim out the vision. Don't think they can go for a Drake just yet. But I mean, Pop and Yeppe, they might just try it. Dr. Chaos can move though. Michiko is still around, down up towards the top side. This is the matchup we talk about.
Those trades are not looking good for Babista anymore. Tatui on one level higher. Look at the itemization as well. It's just going to be doing so much very, very close picking up that Mythic. And Raw Cannon in the mid lane as well. This was a matchup that we thought, Aksham, Raw Cannon, this is going to be great, but he's been bullied so much.
That's the thing. Usually with ADs into mages is that ADs take control of the first 3 waves because having attack damage just does more, but having a look at the replay once again, it's just great hooks. Honestly, Jeppe has been finding a lot of those in this game, not only just now, but also in standard laning phase.
Yeah.
Kiting against Anudia, it is a tough situation, especially when he's got Ghost as well and he's able to run you down with red buff, with stuns, but luckily from the side of Singularity, they're able to trade up the kills.
Now members of MNM moving up towards the top side, dropping the Rift Child up here to maybe try and give Babista a little bit of breathing room. And behind them as well, you can see Dr. Chaos hanging around. If Jeppe wants to go for an engage, Tattoo goes too far forward, then they're going to get stunned up. The CC is big. The Lantern is being blocked as well. Goes for the ultimate to break things up and will be able to escape burning low, but shouldn't fall. And the tower stands as well.
Yeah, Lantern was a bit too much in all the enemy's faces, which makes it quite difficult to hit, but Tatsui actually manages to get it. Tower still stands, and with 3 members on the top side, what can they do on the opposite side of the map? Currently, the answer says nothing, as Jeppe and Porb is also here to respond to the pressure.
Mishko on the bot side, Spike there as well. Mishko hasn't really been able to do that much. The Xerath scaling into the game, what can we expect?
Well, Xerath is one of these super annoying champions to play against because basically also with the Nautilus ultimate, you press that, you lock it down, Q, W from long range paired up with ult. Could get quite scary. Jeppe had the right idea in that one. Quite connected.
See the velocity, doing some trigonometry in his head. Unfortunately, a little bit slow this time around, but Raw Cannon hanging around, going rogue potentially, looking for the damage on Dragane. Won't be able to find it this time around, and the Victor has been holding up very, very well, controlling this mid lane so effectively.
Well, that's the thing, with the AD matchup into control made once again, you dictate the pace of the laning phase in the laning phase, but once the first item starts coming through from the Victor, or any control mage in that matter of fact, with a Lost Jasper and a Blasting Moon, you don't really get to play the game anymore because you keep getting shoved in to play under your tower. So you need to work with the first 6 wave, like almost get something done with them, like getting some jungle priority, moving up to another lane, and unfortunately for Royal Cannon, he's just not been able to do that, and now you're just watching the aftermath of his consequences.
Cannon hanging up mid lane, going to get that farm. Hasn't been falling behind farm, fortunately for him, so there is still opportunities and some equality in this mid lane. But Singularity, honestly, have just looked like the more proactive team so far. MNM might be looking to play around this second Herald when it spawns up in the not too distant future.
Question mark Pinks comes out, so they have spotted Kana on this blue buff.
But
I think Kana can get it in time, maybe. Here comes Porb.
He smites it away. He went actually, I think he did get it in the end, but Porb moving forward aggressively, just scaring him away from going any deeper. And this is what I like for Singularity. They're being proactive. They're putting pings down. They're moving towards objectives. They might lose this top tower, but they might have people there to skirmish. It looks like Tattoo is not interested in making any rest.
Yeah, so the thing is, Chaos has actually been really good being out of the map all the time. Jeppe is most of the time playing response, although he has had a few good proactive roams himself here in the mid lane. But it does allow them to get the first turret for themselves. Rift Herald spawning in less than 1 minute as well, so majority of members from SNG has been moved up here, even Spiky as well. And now can look for a hook, Jeppe. Been dangerous with them.
And moving forward, but decides against the engage. We know how much disengage is available for Singularity if they don't want to take the fight, but in this game state, they've wanted to take pretty much everything they've taken.
Maybe a bad rotation here from the side of Singularity. Michigan moved into bot wave, now he's on towards the mid lane, and Rift Herald been started up, but MNM, they're not doing anything about this potential man advantage. They're just moving down towards the bot side, and SNG get another free neutral objective.
They're indecisive. They don't know what they want to do. They've set Michigan back, but no one else has done anything. They're not looking for it to make a proactive trade. And now this Rift Herald's going to go over to port, and Singularity get all the marbles.
That was actually the one misstep Singularity had there where they could have capitalized on it from the side of MNM, but they didn't see the window, and just like that, it shut wide open on them immediately.
The question is, what can MNM do? They're in this bot side trying to get rid of these minions, get the Xerath some more gold, and maybe try and open up the bot lane a little bit. But honestly, Singularity just seem to have been one step ahead so far. And for MNM, they're not making big signs that they're going to get back into this one through their own plays. Singularity, they opened one window. MNM didn't go through it. When will they open the next?
Yeah, that's the thing, because there's going to be a soul point fight for the next Drake here coming up. It is a Hex Drake once again, and with the Rift Herald, can just use it in the mid lane to just gain that instant priority we see so often.
And Singularity already have the run of the river. In the bot side, you can see Spike is just clearing out those waves. Haven't taken the tower's mid or bot yet, which will make things a little bit harder for Singularity compared to a couple of the teams you've already seen today. But Yepe looking for a death sentence, will go wide this time around. As Dragane trying to control the minion wave mid, takes a little bit of poke. Tatooine is there if they want to start a fight. I think there will be one off. I think it's MNM. Look to brute force it, get onto port, but Cannon might have overstepped a little bit. Has to run for his life. The ultimate actually dropped from Victor. Are they just trying to burn through resources?
I don't know, but Drake has spawned. Rift Herald is still active. No mid-wave to push in and punish from the side of MNM. So are they just giving up this Drake? Yeah, they're not even walking into the river. They don't want to face check it. And once again, they're just going to be getting scraps on the other end of the map. They're going to be picking up jungle camps, but even the turret itself on top side won't fall because Tatooine has the TP to come in.
It's also Raw Cannon just trying to keep some pressure on, shoot down the Camille a little bit. But that's going to be Dragon secured. As you said, Soul Point in 5 minutes time, Singularity. Again, this could be a big win condition.
But no outer turret has fallen just yet. Singularity might find their first in this instance, and in the end, you can get all the souls, but if you're not able to push down on your enemy's base and get the Nexus, you're just not going to win the game, and stalling out is giving MNM extra time. Currently, they're not really in a good position to fight against you. They might be if you let the game go long enough.
Singularity looking to get the second charge through. I think they will manage it, and actually, decent amount of damage going through onto Babista as well. We saw Victor actually teleporting mid. Dragane really needed to control the situation down there. But for Singularity, they might have slowed down a little bit, but can they afford to do that?
I mean, they still have a scaling aspect in their roster. Yeah. And I will say, I do think their composition is way easier to play, especially with Jace knocked out of the picture in the early game. So yeah, for sure, they can afford the scaling aspect as well. The only side is, once again, that MNM will be scary with a Seraph once he gets those 3 items as well, because it allows some of the champions to not play the game you would like to play the game. He outranges the Victor, and he outranges the Aphelios. So Michiko in the late game, depending if you can stall in this next Drake, might be one of the sole win conditions for MNM, outside of just finding that crucial flank on the backline that we quite often talk about is a little bit difficult finding, but Dragane might just be giving them an opening here.
Yeah, might be caught out. Ooh, just goes wide from Dr. Chaos, not able to grab onto the Victor. But as something that you mentioned, as we've got a little bit of a lull at the moment, Babista not really in the game right now. Jace from behind is really rough. How does he get back into it if he can?
He's still pretty strong, so 3 items on Jace is still something he can't mess around with, and he has finished off the Mirror Mana, does have the Eclipse, so like, don't mess around with the poking aspect of MNM's composition. Like, that is for sure what will keep them in this game.
We'll have to wait and see if they're able to set up around that, but Gravitum goes. Michiko just going to respectfully flash away, doesn't want to get taken down by Singularity, having multiple members in the neighborhood. Tatooine on the side looking for a flank, but Canna's there guarding it, and it looks like MNM are just going to have to concede this tower. Babista on the side, though, could look for a flank, can't find the poke, but actually the re-engage coming on through. We've seen the Arcane Barrage coming in as well. Dragane taking a lot of damage, dodged away from the last one, might have saved his life. MNM lose the tower, but the defense is pretty decent.
Gets the mid lane turret on the opposite side of the map. Royal Cannon trying to farm an inner turret for himself, but with resets coming through, it's just not going to be to anything. And once again, Singularity finding net worth on the map. Recalling outside a bush, Pop not in time to stop him. And with resets coming through, what we're probably just going to be seeing is a Singularity who's going to be clearing out the jungle camps as red and blue buff has respawned. And only 1 outer turret left, which is on the top side. So they'll probably start working their way around the mid lane, pushing that in, forcing MNM to respond. And while they're responding, moving their pressure up towards the top side instead.
We've got Baron around as well now as an objective that can be played for. Raw Cannon sneaking on by. Can he find anything on Dragane? Probably doesn't want to, because Porp is hanging around to make it a 2v1, and Raw Cannon has been spotted out. That's a decent amount of damage coming through from Victor. Swinging away, though. Raw Cannon survives. The tower, though, not going to be much respite as he will back away in the bot side of Babista, and Cannon trying to set up a similar situation. Dr. Chaos moving down as well. Are they just going to go for the dive? This one could be pretty dangerous. Tatooine is very strong. Cannon needs to run away, running back into tower shot range, and does go down. They exchange 1 for 1, and now Spike and Yepe are here. Nice flavor. Babista will go low. Yepe survives by a sliver of health, and Dr. Chaos trying to make his way back towards the tower. Won't be able to do so, and is in a lot of trouble. Fools, double kill for Spike.
Yeah, I was going to say, Michiko's ultimate is just not up yet on the Seraph either, so he was not in a position to capitalize on the low HP on Yepe. Had he been around, maybe he could have traded a few kills there. Just wasn't. And just like that, take a favorable trade once again. But MNM are doing what they kind of have to, right? Yeah. They're playing towards one of their strong sides where they have a push in. They're going for a dive, but Tatui just does so much damage on the Camille already. This does get a little bit close going into melee range of the Jays. As we already talked about, 2 items is scary. Making your way up towards the 3, that's where you really start to worry. But this time around, they have the presence of mind to stall out the trades. They pick up the kills, and they get a favorable trade in global map state once again.
Absolutely, and I mean, again, you can see why MNM went for the play, and if the other 2 members of this bot lane from Singularity hadn't shown up, it would have been a decent 1-1 trade, even trades when you're behind and nothing to be sniffed at. Unfortunately, Singularity, Spike, and Yepe were there. Now, in the mid lane, Dragon up in 5 seconds, Soul for Singularity. MNM cannot let this one go through. The Arcane Barrage is going to be used for a little bit of poke, but there's not really anyone that Singularity can get taken low, and they're actually going to be able to grab the Nautilus out of the air. Ultimatum coming in onto Raw Cannon. This fight is big for Singularity. Canna is going to be chased down towards the Dragon, moves back forward, because Fresh is just going to cut off any route of escape. And Singularity take another team fight and can take Dragon.
That's the thing, MNM's composition, it doesn't work as a team fight. It works as poking your enemy down, then going for the engage. Problem is, the hook connected to the one target where it just does not matter. Because as soon as Paul pops the Crescent Strike, what is Jays and Mexico going to do in the Seraph? Even the AD carry of Royal Cannon, it's just not doable.
And now they're going to be able to get Dragon Soul. They might be able to get Baron as well. It's going down pretty slowly. Members of MNM have respawned, but I don't think they're getting there in time. And honestly, Dragon Soul with Hextech, Baron if they can secure it as well. Actually, I don't know.
Imagine if they don't wait for Pulp and they steal it.
Oh, stop it. But they are going to be able to get onto Yepe. Baron is super, super low. Can they get the steal to go in? They won't be able to. It's secured by Singularity. Dr. Chaos moves forward and gives his life for the attempt. But they've got the Baron buff on 4. They've got themselves the Soul. Could this be curtains?
It definitely could. By the horns of the Mastercards, Noise, they rally the troops and go for the retreat. Tactical reset coming through from the side of Singularity. And that, I mean, you said it yourself, this should just be the beginning of the end for MNM. Having the possibility of just shoving in your opponent who lacks in wave clear against Baron up minions. Because yes, Seraph, obviously good at that. Oh no.
Oh, that's a lot of damage for Raw Cannon, but he will survive and get away. And objective bounties might be some small solace.
In the replay, once again, let's just see how it actually plays out. Because Chaos, once again, he needs to catch one of the carries. Catching Pulp, she's not going to do much. And like, I can respect going for it, but in the end, it's just desperation. He gets blown up completely, and no one's able to capitalize on the hook. And the rest of them, they're just forced to retreat immediately.
And kind of just caught up there. There's no route out and just falls. And Singularity in a dominant position right now, moving through this mid lane with 4 members. Of course, you need Tatui on the top side. And MNM need to decide where they want to make their stand and how they're going to do so. Raw Cannon sneaking on through. But as you mentioned, the team composition from MNM, it just doesn't work in these kind of situations.
It definitely doesn't. And it's an issue MNM has had for a while, but I mean, when they've made stuff work, it has been with more finicky composition. It has been with very aggressive composition. This time around, though, not too many go buttons. And even if there is, once again, the disengage from the Sensao. It's a little bit of too many S-tier picks right now on the side of Singularity. If not an S-tier pick in almost every role, let's be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. And for MNM, for something a little bit different, that's how it is going to fall. Singularity trying to break open the base. Of course, they can move down to the bot side. That tower's pretty much already gone. And then it's going to be all about trying to break open an inhibitor.
Oh, yeah, and slows from the Hextech Drake is just not helping MNM's case either, because just getting caught by, attacked rather, by one of those lasers of Victor, then you pair that up with Spiky chasing you down when he finally has Calibrum. Like, it's going to do a lot, but you just saw the damage there from Missigo. That's what you want to see. I mean, maybe you wanted it 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, but fortunately, that's just not the cards that MNM was dealt, or at least not the hand they played with the cards they were dealt.
I mean, question for me now is, Elder Dragon's up in 3 minutes. A, can MNM get there with the power play from the Baron running out in 5 seconds? And B, would taking a Baron be enough, or an Elder Dragon be enough?
It definitely stalled out the game a little. Elder Drake, yes. I think Elder Drake just has that power and a potential, but even with a Baron, like, it could give you a little push in terms of what your composition wants to do, sieging, Baron up minions, but still taking that open team fight, which Singularity has a lot of space to come in from different flanks of the map. Like, there's just too many quadrants of Summoner's Rift that MNM has to be worried about, even when they start sieging, because they don't have turrets to fall back to. It's such an open map, and that means with a composition with no disengage, you'll just get caught off guard.
Cannon trying to catch Dragane off guard, but will be caught out himself. A lot of damage coming on through from his Archon, actually dodges away from the slow, but the ultimate from Victor makes it a very unfair fight. Raw Cannon able to get away, but now the ultimatum lands onto Babista on the other side of the map, and this time around, Singularity taking no prisoners, going to be getting that knock up on the final auto attack as well, but Porp just leaving it. No, not leaving it, stealing it away.
Okay, Chaos is down towards the bot side. Round 2 here.
Rakanan going on through with a bit of assistance this time around, but Dragane gets the flash away, gets the slow. The ultimate will snipe through. Will it be enough to take down Dragane? Yes, it will.
And there we get it. Finally get a kill on the other side of the map. Can Singularity capitalize with 2 members down towards the bot side? They're trying to push in the mid lane, but no longer having Baron up minions. Michigo is dealing with the threat.
Now MNM are going to look to try and stabilize a little bit. They've still got their base intact, which is great for the first Baron buff. If they were able to secure that one, they've still got somewhere to fall back to, and the minions are not going to be the same threat that they could be. However, we've got Dragon and Baron coming up within 20 seconds of each other. Singularity realistically can't afford to let either go down.
I've seen Singularity throw this. I'm just putting that out there. Never forget, when they had 3 winning lanes, got a soul, was starting up a Baron, and it got stolen by MC's Lee Sin. Can happen again. And the scaling aspect of the game is, of course, they still have that. Not per se in their favor, but it still is very good for them. This problem is, it's also very good for MNM.
This is very true. MNM deciding where they're going to want to pick their fight, and if they could even do so, because Singularity are so much stronger ground for ground at the moment. A pick might be crucial, but Singularity just haven't given that opening.
3 items on Jace now. Almost 3 items on Michigo. He's making his way towards it. This is where you want to let them know how scary the poke can become. Yebe looking for Flay, TP behind.
Yeah, TP coming in. They're looking for Michigo. They're looking for wherever they can get. They do get onto the Xerath with the ultimatum, but now members of MNM are moving back, trying to defend their backline. Canna's the one who's caught out in the box, though, will go down. You've got to imagine it's Tatui picking up that one, and Singularity moving forward. They've only managed to take down 1 so far. With health bars pretty decent, they take out the minion wave and have a whole world of decisions.
And there you have it. It's just a problem we talked about. The map is so wide open. 1 TP flank, and you'll have to retreat immediately from MNM. Just like that, Elder Drake, 10 seconds, your jungler is dead. What can the rest of MNM do to deter this situation?
I don't know what they're going to be able to do. They've got members staying mid. I don't even know if they're fighting over this Elder Dragon, but they're not taking fights as it is, and that execute is going to put them beyond all doubt.
They have to do this.
They have to do something. Babista moving through, and of course, they've got the Xerath range, the ultimatum Raw Cannon trying to get onto Yebe. Nice shot onto the Aphelios. Actually, Singularity could be in trouble here. The Dragon's going low. They don't have a smite member to steal it away. It should be secured by Porb. It will be secured by the jungler from Singularity, taking down Dr. Chaos. The fight might have changed its tune as Babista gets blown up. Nautilus goes the same way. Singularity was touch and go. Cannon moving forward, but needs to be careful. Dragane there with the execute. Raw Cannon needs to be super careful. 1 auto might be enough. But Singularity are going to disengage. They lose multiple members, but they take down Elder.
Yeah, they get the Elder Drake, and just with 2 members like that, they can start setting up for the Baron once the resets come through and the death timers has vanished. And it's messy, but it's still a fight favoring Singularity.
MNM holding on, they're clutching on, but the game is slipping further and further out of hand. This Baron buff, you've got to imagine, could be the final fight. If MNM take it, they could use it to defend a little.
And this has to be the final fight. Whoever aces this is just going to run down the enemy nexus and try and see if they can end here. Or maybe it's going to be those kind of fights where just 2 members survive, 1 member survive, and it's just not going to be enough. Baron stolen, whatever it is. That's loads of potential for finicky things to happen. But remember, once again, Porp and Dragana still has the Elder Drake. On the top side, Michigo is resetting on the Seraph right now, probably building that 3rd item. Perhaps a Rapidon's Depth Cap.
Ultimate isn't available yet, though. I think they're just letting this one go, and honestly, Singularity with 5 members of Baron buff, they've got Elder on a couple as well. I just don't know if that was the correct call.
I mean, they don't feel like they want to fight against the Elder Drake, and that's fair enough. You can have them pushing into you, but you need to start this disengage with your poke instead. Rapidon's Death Cap have just been finished up by Michigo. You can make some members, key members low, make sure they are not able for the follow-up of a fight. Maybe you can stall even longer. Maybe you can even stall out the Baron and the Elder Drake, but it's looking unlikely, especially with Babista down towards the bot side pushing.
He gets 1 tower, but it's going to be returned in the
There's just no one around.
They need to defend. Babista is going to be teleporting through, but MNM They're only defending with 3, 4, 5 now coming. That's a lot of damage coming through. They might be able to take a bit of health, but MNM, they lose Canna. They might lose more with the Elder Dragon still popping on some members of Singularity. Diving forward, Pop wants to take down Raw Cannon. Might be able to do so with the Elder Dragon's help. Diving forward, one more auto would be enough. Burns low, but the shield is enough to keep Raw Cannon alive. But the Nexus is laid bare. The snipe comes through. Raw Cannon gets it. As Singularity needs to push forward. They do have the last order attack, and they take their second win of the split.
Messy, interesting. In the end, Singularity victory. And they pick up their second one of the season. So it just keeps happening. They get a few in there.
I mean, they have the ability to win games. The issue being...
Technically speaking, every team loading up to the Rift has a possibility of winning a game.
You haven't heard some of the games that I've played. But we're going to go short break. When we come back, it's the post-show, so don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Welcome back to a scene a little bit different. It is the post-show, and my guest today, it's the Bond villain. I don't know what is happening. Initialize.
I think you'll find this post-show, after-show is fully operational.
I don't know what happened.
I'm having fun.
And for the first time, Jamada, welcome.
Hi. How you doing?
Really comfortable, right?
Yeah, I didn't realize, you know, I've basically been watching from home the entire split. I didn't realize how much lean back you
I know, yeah, so there's quite, you really can
comfortable,
get a full lean.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah, it's
I'm having
great.
to me, this is like the cooldown, you know?
Yeah.
You can actually get the cooldown. It's a good time. It is a good time. And it's a good time for Singularity as well after picking another win versus MNM. And we're going to start with MNM today with Dr. Chaos. I think he's already ready for the interview right now. There he is. Okay, what was that face, Dr. Chaos? What is happening, man? Welcome back. And
hello.
I mean, we got to stop meeting like this. We got to stop meeting like this. Obviously, it was a rough game for you because you knew the riddle was already secured. So probably the mental of MNM was not on the best day ever, right?
I mean, I don't want to say much to that. I mean, you see it in our team performance since when it started. So it's probably not much more you can say to that. I just hope I can play some more fun games and more fun champions next week. And yeah, that's about what I hope for.
Makes sense, makes sense. One of the other things I wanted to ask is the way that the team is developing. Obviously, at the beginning of the split, it was not the best we've seen from MNM, but certainly MNM has risen to the occasion. Is this like what we can expect from the future MNM? You still feel that like you guys have to develop a little bit more? On how do you feel about the team so far? Oh no.
Well, that's a tough question because I don't think there's a future MNM like this. Because yeah, at the moment it's just not working, and yeah, you see it in our gameplay. There are a lot of reasons for it. I don't want to go into them on
no problem, man. I got you.
Yeah.
Obviously, I have to throw these curveballs, man. I have to catch. Like I'm the interviewer. I have to make tough questions. Okay, to lighten up a mood, you were talking about you want to have fun. You want to see other picks now. You can play on the stage with probably your favorite champions. Can you tell me what is your favorite champion, or what would you like to play with? Yeah. What a more comfortable question.
Yes, a lot more comfortable. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, my most famous, or like the champion I love the most, is Galio. Issue with it is that you are usually not the first to engage, which can make up some difficulties in draft and also in team play. And otherwise, I mean, Renata's coming out now. She seems kind of fun. So maybe someone doesn't ban her and I can just try it out how it is in competitive. So that would be kind of fun.
Give us some Renata. I want to see you force the enemy team to just battle each other. I don't know if you know, but if you send the ultimate from Renata to the enemy jungler and he kills the buff, you take the buff. For instance, if you force the enemy jungler to kill the Baron, you take the Baron.
Sure. Yeah, you can literally like...
Hey, that's the perfect steal, man.
It's great.
It's a challenge to JDXL. Maybe they don't ban Veigar, don't ban Renata, and we just get our dream draft against Turok. I mean, how we drafted today, maybe it's possible.
I would love to see that. So thank you so much for the interview. Obviously, it's a tough time, but go relax a little bit because it's always a pleasure to have you on the interview. And have a little rest, man. Have a little rest.
Have a nice one. Yeah. See you.
Obviously, it is a tough moment for MNM, and I have to make these questions, you know?
Absolutely.
I feel bad, but I have to make them.
Exactly. Yeah, you got the answers you needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Small answers, but I got the reasoning behind them.
Exactly. I think you can kind of tell it's a tough situation, right? I think especially when we saw MNM, they're able to very much compete with teams that are very comfortably seeing.
They were pushing X7 the first time
the first team that actually actively pushed X7 to almost lose was MNM.
Yeah.
So it kind of speaks to the season that they were almost able to achieve. Obviously, throughout the split, something must happen.
I feel that what happened was the fact that you stopped believing in them, and that's what brought the team. I'm just going to say this while we jump into the second interview of the night. It is Yeppe. Finally, I get you on the victory, Yeppe. Welcome back. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good. It's nice to be here on a win.
Finally, I get you like on full on smile. Okay, second victory of the split. Singularity is looking better. You guys are making a lot of plays. Is this what we can expect from Singularity in the future?
Yeah, for sure. Like I think the most of the people on the team, like already when we started losing a lot, was like, yeah, next split will be better. But like our discussions now is for sure like we get these 2 last games and we try and win those, and then we look to go strong into like next year. Maybe be a top team there, but for sure be like a middle of the pack team.
Okay.
Awesome. And for this game, or this last game you just played in particular, you know, good snowball early, you punish some of the invades from Kana, you've got the soul, it's all looking really good, and then a couple of these objectives around the Baron and the Elder Drake, you get a bit of a fight from MNM. It gets a little bit closer. I kind of want to know where were the nerves there? Were the comms okay? I'm kind of curious what was going on in the minds of you and the rest of the players.
I think the biggest like reason that it didn't look that clean was that it's like combined of like stress that we have to win, but also like the like kind of thought that we already won. You know, like we need to win fast, but we also already won, so we need to just take it slow. And I made a big whoopsie, followed by.
I didn't want to put it straight on you, but I know what you're talking about.
followed by my ADC getting one shot by poke. Like the voice comes when that happened. I was like, what? What do you mean you're dead? And then I look and it's just gone. So yeah, I got a little bit spicy. But it was like one-time thing, right? Like the last fight at the Nexus, that was controlled. Like we done that at scrims at least one time, so like fully controlled.
Okay, last question before we jump into tonight's game, which is Big Ben Dodge. I hope you're ready. So, I understand the Katarina over. I understand teasing, trouble, and all that.
Yeah,
but the Pantheon, you did me dirty, man. Are you gonna play Pantheon support?
I am talking to my coach about it. All of those champions I have mentioned for my coach, but he is blocking my creative thoughts.
Okay.
So you're telling me to have a small conversation with your coach. Is that it?
Yeah. You actually have to do that because my creative mind doesn't get to be like played out because of him.
Hey, Singularity coach, look at me. Look at me. It is quite easy. You look at Pantheon. You look at me. You see the resemblance on the beard. That's all. But pick him. Support. He's good. All in. Press the attack. Get the W first skill. First level. The AD carry comes in. That's a first blood for you, man. That's great. How can you miss on that?
Awesome, great.
That's good. Think about that. Yeah. Okay, yep, I got you, man. You want to play a game?
Yes.
Let's play a game. It's Big Ben Dodge. We have 4 plays for today. Jamada also for the first time. You are going to play with us. It is quite easy. Okay, we're going to show a play. You decide if it's a pick, if it's a ban, if it's a dodge. Yepe, you're the first one to decide because you're the guest of honor. So without further ado, let's kick it off with the first play. Show me. What is happening? What is happening? Ooh, attack speed Ari.
Yeah, I saw this one. This one was really like, I thought it was really close, and like I actually like, I think it was really hard from MNS. I disliked his collector build, but I don't see any other item that would have saved him there, so I think it's a for sure pick for MNS. Like really good, using his items fully.
What do we have for our guests as well?
Well, I made it quite clear. I wasn't a big fan of the ADR. But what I will say is definite pick on the play itself.
Okay. Yeah. What about you?
Because Ari used the charm, it was actually a pick, so that's actually what the play was. So
understandable.
That's you know.
I think I have to agree with everybody. I'm gonna ban because Aphelios had a heal ready to use and he didn't use it.
Oh.
Yeah. He had Elder Dragon buff and he didn't use it. I'm not saying anything, but
give credit to MNS for coming back from 0-3-4.
Yep.
I think that's where my like thought of the collector comes in, because I would never think that the Ari would one shot like the last 5% randomly, like with collector. So I actually think it's really like 200 IQ from MNS.
You know what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I got your back. You got my back. Okay, I'll pick it. I'll pick it. Okay. Second of the day. Yeah, but let's go. What do we have?
Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Aggression.
Oh yeah. This is. Oh.
Wait, is that Jinx from the Arcane show?
No, I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure that's.
That's the.
That's Silco, right?
It's that one spin-off, actually.
Yeah.
The cool thing is like Cyan chasing the Jinx and the movement speed at the same time, and Cyan is like, "Oh, you teasing me? You not?"
Why you keep bringing this up again?
What do you think about it, Yepe?
I have.
I mean, as it's on Jinx, I would for sure dodge. Like, that's not playable. I think last time we played against Acetone, or like last time I played against Acetone on Jinx, I got fucking completely smashed as well. So I would just dodge and say Coach Diff. Yeah.
It's a dodge champion selects and go next, right?
Yeah, sure.
What about you guys?
Yeah, 100%. If I see Azator on Jinx, I'm leaving. It's -3 every time. Like, just don't take the bigger loss. Like,
There's a lot of LP that's going down the drain.
Lose 3 LP with a dodge and then just go next.
Look, I'm going to continue with my literal takes because Jinx literally dodged the Scion. So
okay. All right.
I mean, I'm going to say dodge as well. The only thing that's said for me on the Jinx
I'm not apologizing.
is the chompers didn't activate at time.
Oh, it should have been in front.
So
Should have been in front.
close, man. It's like the chompers from Pounder instead of the Jinx. They don't work. So yeah.
It's like that scene in Jurassic Park where you've got like they're looking in the mirror. There's a T-Rex chasing us, like objects in the rearview mirror, maybe closer than they appear.
Science are closer to
like,
you.
oh my days!
Okay, third one of the day, Jeppe. Now I want to see a Jeppe play. That would be wonderful.
Oh no!
Wait.
Oh,
he used the ulti.
This is how they spotted where he was.
So
I didn't see this.
This is how they spotted.
Oh,
I was so confused.
No.
Still.
No.
No.
No, good. No.
Wait for it.
Yeah.
Wait for it. Now.
No. And it's with Death
That's
Door. No.
center.
In the middle. I was so confused because there was a massive, like, 2-minute long, 3-minute long team fight.
Yeah.
And then randomly Ryze just died after the end of it to Gangplank ult. That's obviously how. And this is why you just move a little further when you go for a base and there's a Gangplank in the game. So, I mean, on that
No,
basis
it's Jeppe. It's Jeppe first. It's Jeppe first.
Yeah, Jeppe is the guest.
I mean, I'm kind of speechless. I would be so confused if I was on Ryze team, but I would also be so happy if I was on GP team. So it has to be like which side I'm going off. But like, if I'm on Ryze team, I would for sure just ban my mid laner and say you're not playing Ryze anymore.
Jeppe, I'm glad. Right there with you.
We all going ban.
Right there with you, buddy. Right there with you. It's a straight ban.
That was blood boiling. And I know Nuno doesn't really have that anymore, but like you're safe. You're just about backed. Death's Door hits you in the face, and you're like that. That's just not okay.
Can I ask something? With the movement speed, tier 2 boots,
you don't survive.
Recall is 8 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just walk. He was close enough.
He was already close enough to the.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been like 12.
Well, he got a free recall as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, gray screen, it's a free recall. Okay, fourth play of the day, and the last one, Jeppe.
Oh. Yeah.
So I actually didn't see this one live because Singularity messaged me and was like, "No more Pokemon. You have to prepare for the game tonight." So that's one, yeah. But I would for sure pick it. Like, this seems really fun. I played it in Earth once or twice, and I did almost the same, except then the whole enemy team came and killed me. But yeah, for sure pick.
I mean, yeah. I like to see the burst of a Twitch with AP. It's Nias told us he tried something, it didn't work, but it's cool. Okay, they have a different feeling.
Yeah,
I know, there's the dodge.
Unfortunately, too many years have I been inted by Twitches, whether they be AD or AP.
Smart.
And
I can't decide.
You can't. Oh, you just
pick one.
Can I just?
Yeah, just don't do it. Just
That's not the way you pick. That's not.
There we go. All right.
Okay, I understand.
Thank you.
They are not of culture yet, but they don't understand the culture of AP Twitch and the sneaky.
Okay, so now I've picked this one, I've got to justify it because I picked it. You're there recording on a tower. Twitch literally attacks you 4 times and presses W and you're dead. Actually, E expunges on E.
Yeah.
And that is very fun, high counterplay League of Legends gameplay.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I would like to ban it because I don't like champions with that kind of counterplay.
Okay. What do you play, by the way?
Evelyn.
Okay, thank you.
Again, I'm aware there's hypocrisy in the statement.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I'm the only one allowed to do it.
A little more silent.
It's always a pleasure to have you with us. And another W. Let's see if Pantheon is going to appear as a support. If you need any sort of tips in terms of builds, call me, okay?
I will.
Thank you.
You're actually supposed to leak draft strats on stage, guys. Your coach is going to be dialing you up in a minute, Jeppe.
He's going to ban initialize. Thank you so much, Jeppe. And I'll see you soon, man. See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye. You need to wave. You need to. Oh, you did a different wave.
Yeah.
That's surprisingly sort of like take me on a date wave. What was with the hands?
It wasn't me. It was your mother.
I think you have a bad angle, though.
Okay. With that in mind, we have a new segment, by the way. It is called Priceless Play of the Day. And I want to see what's going to happen. So supposedly, it's the best play of the day that we're going to have with us on the background. And I want to know what that play is. I think I know.
I have an idea.
Yeah, it was kind of massive. So let's play it.
Yeah.
Play it. Give it to us.
Is it what I think it is?
Yes.
Oh, it is.
Oh, 100%.
Oh,
only ever going to be
boy.
Still.
Ooh.
Prince of Thieves, baby.
Yeah. Brings the number up to 5.
Wait, it was the spear that stole it away, not even the smite.
That was, yeah, so I remember breaking this one down in the moment. 1, my voice is still recovering, but 2, unfortunately for Noodle, he'd smited the Baron so that he could have enough HP to actually tank the Baron, and it was on cooldown for another second. Unfortunately for Vanir, they burned down the Baron a little bit too fast, and yeah, the spear comes into the pit and executes it for 9. Well, I think in the end it was about 300, but
Man,
it was traveling through there for a while.
It's almost like you should have banned Nidalee.
Yeah.
It's appropriate it came from a guy called MC, because that was main character moves right there.
Yes,
like, unreal. The anime redemption arc continues. Riddle get playoffs. Beautiful stuff.
And it was a hard pick, by the way, to pick the play of the day today, of all days, with every single team fighting it off almost 30 to 40 minutes per game. It was a tough one. So I would say congrats, production, from finding this one, and also for MC to pick Nidalee again and showing us why the Nidalee is such a preeminent pick for him. By the way, we have an analyst back in Portugal called Anifar, who's always dissing me on the Nidalee. He doesn't agree with the Nidalee. He doesn't think it's a good champion, but that's why his heart's stuck, by the way. But I'm just going to say this.
He's not here to defend himself. What is this?
He doesn't have any sort of defense for this one. Now, standings after today's matches, I mean, it's solidified. We now know the 6 teams that are going for the playoffs, but we don't know the specific spots, because if you look into this one, X7 almost secured for the first seed. Bifrost and JDXL are tied up, and they will face each other until the end.
Yeah, so the thing with Bifrost and JDXL is Bifrost have the 0-2 versus JDXL. JDXL have the 2-0 over... JDXL have the 2-0 over Bifrost. Bifrost have the 2-0 over X7. X7 have the 2-0 over Bifrost. So there's still some weird scenarios that could go on there.
Yes.
But for Bifrost to secure second place by itself, they need to get at least one game over JDXL, or just tie all those 3 up in some weird amalgam of madness.
Yeah, I think they could only really take... Or they could only really do second place if it came down to like 3-way tie.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And even if it seems like, okay, the playoffs are secured, no seed is still available. Dusty and Varney are still fighting for the 4th seed, or the 3rd one as well. Who knows? In the future, Riddle is now secured, so they just need to find their leverage if they're going to be the last seed or something in the between.
Yeah, and you know, it's kind of exciting to see Riddle make the last minute hop in, just because we've seen Riddle do a run like this with a very similar, you know, style of getting into playoffs. So I'm excited to see what they can actually do once we do hit that playoff week, man.
I remember some of these players hitting some serious playoff buffs as well, actually, because we've been talking about consistency.
Best of 5 is best of 5, man.
When you kind of hit these series, you do get different sized players, and people like MC, I remember being really quite spectacular in playoffs last season.
About the schedule, MNM Gaming versus JDXL. JD needs this one. MNM just playing for spoilers. Nuriki are doing the same for Bifrost. X7 versus Vanir. This is an important one for Vanir and X7 as well. Top of the standings fighting between each other. Team Singularity versus Dusty. It's the same for Singularity, playing spoilers. And now Riddle Sports still have to face Astralis, and they don't need to take their last spot in terms of seeding for the playoffs, so obviously Riddle needs to win this one. So this is the games that we're going to have on week 9, day 1, next Monday. So don't you miss it. But don't miss, by the way, the after show right after our show. I think we're going to jump for Riddle, where they have a really good interview. I'm not going to spoil it, so don't miss a beat, and I'll see you next week.